Hi everyone. What I want to talk about in this video is something that has been addressed by many people many times, but this is my 2 cents on the subject. Race within the Gothic subculture. Now I got a message from a YouTube user asking me what my opinion was on the subject. And it got me thinking because I never really thought about it too much because first of all, I don't really know many goths in real life. You know, I can think of maybe a handful that I've actually met in real life, and the rest of them are all online, and they all just kind of happened to be Caucasian, so I never really thought about it. Obviously, I have a lot more people that I'm in touch with now, and they are all different races, and that's cool, but I'm just talking beforehand. I never really was exposed to it, so I never thought about it. But her message really made me think because she told me that she joined a group online, you know, for goths, and she's African American, and I guess there was a lot of racism and discrimination going on within the group, and a lot of people said that, you know, the gothic subculture was a white only thing, and that just didn't really make any sense to me when she told me that. Like, I can't believe people would actually think that way. Like, the only thing I could think, and this is what I told her, was that those people were just kind of like the elitist goths who think that they can make up the rules for everybody else. And I think that's really stupid. Like, there is no, like, goth Bible. I mean, who knows, there probably is. But it's not like, you know, rules to live by, like, the things that there's no, like, 10 commandments of goth, you know, and the first one definitely isn't you have to be Caucasian. Like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So I don't know where some people who think this way got that idea, like, other than they're just racist, and they seem to think that, well, being pale is a thing, you know, for being goth, so obviously, you know, a black person can't be goth, right? Wrong, because you don't have to be pale to be goth, for crying out loud. That is like the most superficial thing ever. Like, that is like probably the lowest thing on the rung of goth requirements is being pale. Like, yeah, a lot of goths are pale because, you know, the aesthetic appeals to them, and it, you know, it makes a nice contrast against the black clothing or whatever, and I'm pale. I just happen to be pale because of my heritage, and I don't really ever go outside. I don't go out during the day, and it's not because I'm like a recluse or, oh, goth, you know, shield me from the sunlight. It's just, you know, I have social anxiety disorder, so I don't really go out very often because I don't like public, and I just prefer to be here because I just do a lot of crafting and, you know, watch my movies and stuff, and that's my life. So I don't get a lot of sun exposure. In fact, I take vitamin D to aid with, you know, not getting scurvy. I just happen to be pale. That's my thing. It's not like, oh, I'm goth, I have to be pale. So I'm not really sure why there are some goths out there who think that way. Like, I wouldn't have thought that they would. I would have thought people outside the gothic community would have thought it was a white-only thing because what they see is the pale people, and then that's kind of what they always associate with it. But I wouldn't expect people in the actual gothic community to be that closed-minded and racist. That is ridiculous. Because if they're saying that it's a white-only group, I mean, does that exclude Asians and, you know, Spanish people and Mexican people and European people? I mean, I guess technically, you know, Asian people and European people have white skin, but when people say white people, I think Caucasian. I mean, so if that excludes Asian people, what about Lolita goths? Like, look at all of the Japanese stuff that is goth. I mean, there are some Japanese people who have, like, the awesomest goth get-ups ever. And then there are the Lolita goths. I mean, I would almost even hesitate to go Lolita. I just think it wouldn't fit all that well. I mean, I think it's really cute when there's a girl who isn't Asian is wearing, you know, the Lolita style, like with the dress and the little hair things and the stockings and the shoes. I think that's adorable. That is an adorable style. Personally, I wouldn't attempt it myself because I would just feel a little goofy because when I hear Lolita, I think an Asian girl. And that's just because that's where the style came from. So of course I'm gonna think that. But I'm not like discriminating or anything. So I don't get why these goths think that it's a white only thing when there is a different race even heavily involved in one of the goth labels. Like, and but anyway, I know I'm friends with African American goths on my cult on Vampire Freaks, and they're just people. Like, I forget that, you know, their skin is a different color than mine, because it doesn't freaking matter. Like, we're interested in what is in each other's minds and, you know, our interests, not what we look like. I mean, God, like, it's not about what you look like. They belong in our subculture just as much as anybody else. I mean, just because their skin's a different color doesn't mean that they can't read H.P. Lovecraft. Doesn't mean that they can't, you know, like Tim Burton, or, you know, or Bauhaus, or Joy Division, you know, or Edgar Allan Poe. The color of skin has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on how they see things, or think things, or feel things. So I don't get why anybody would think that it is a white-only subculture. I think that's retarded. And if you're one of those people, like, I would really like to know reasons behind why some people think this way. Like, I want to actually hear your logical reasons behind your feelings, because it doesn't make any sense to me. And if you actually have legitimate reason for thinking this way, I would love to hear about it. Seriously. So that I can understand where you're coming from. I don't really agree with it, but I would still like to understand, rather than just assuming that you're racist, because that's not good. Nobody wants to be accused of being racist. So those are my thoughts on that. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys probably after Christmas. So I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, or Happy Hanukkah if you don't celebrate Christmas, or whatever other holidays are coming up. I don't know. I'm really bad with that. I celebrate Christmas, and my husband's family celebrates Hanukkah and Christmas, so we're actually going to go have a Hanukkah Christmas celebration this weekend, so it should be a good time. So I hope you guys all have happy holidays. How about that? Happy holidays. And I will see you guys later in some other video that I think of that will probably be absolutely brilliant. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.